All right. So, you can achieve anything, but there's a catch. Let's see.
And do you believe you can learn anything you put your mind to? I struggle with self belief. Well, here's a Galton board. Okay, look at this Galton board.
Ooh, the the ever popular bell curve. I had no idea this was actually like a little physical thing.
I'm gonna flip this Galton.
Okay, so it looks like there's like a bunch of little sand or beads or whatever, and they're all like positioned like above like a plinko board type deal, and like they're all about the same size roughly. And I take it you're gonna see this right here is like the standard bell curve.
Galton board. Okay, and I want you to take a close look.
Okay, so if this yellow line represents like a standard bell curve of like skill or whatever, or anything, it's me, so I'm just gonna like relate it to aim training or whatever. Like up here, it's like, what is this, jujitsu or something? So he's probably gonna talk about jujitsu, but what do? I relate everything to aim training because what else am I doing with my life?
See how the cookie crumbled? I'm gonna do it again.
There it goes. And it's not perfect, but it's about the same.
You see, everybody notice the Galton board. The majority of you will land here. Some of you will land here,
Mm-hmm.
and some of you will land here.
Ooh, the outliers and the no skill.
Here, you're extremely gifted. You're a
Yep.
genius. You're super strong. You're super whatever. Here, you've been cursed. You've been challenged to a
Yes.
greater degree. And here, you're pretty much plain Jane average. Okay.
Yeah.
And when we shuffle, we always get a different result. No two results will ever be truly the same. The bell curve, the Galton board, I want you guys to think about it.
All right.
What aspect in my life did I land in the elite section?
Bro, that is like the hardest question to answer because I would say most people are, damn, like, I don't know. Like, I'm just like an average Joe Blow type dude. And if he's trying to say that everyone is like elite at something, I don't know. That's tough to say. It's like whether or not you can like figure that out because like there's so many variables to take into account for for someone even just trying to like discover some shit about themselves or whatever. Like for a lot of people, a big issue is just straight money and like the environment that they're living in. So there's a big issue right there. So I mean, I don't know.
Everybody's born with a gift.
Are they though?
You have to find that gift. Now, it might not be. Look, I believe you can become elite at everything you put your mind to. I want to stress this. Okay, look,
Oh, he said he believes you can become elite at anything that you can put your mind to. So on that little bell curve, there's like the no skill side, and then the high elite side. What you know, like what layer, what level is like the elite? Is it like the final like column tick, or is it what, the 90th percentile, the 95th percentile? Like what are we talking about? Like elite?
let's say I want to go to the UFC. If I train day and night, I can make it, but it doesn't mean I'm going to be world champion. To be world
Oh, okay. So he's using fighting. Okay. So this is probably another good talking point because you could divide up everybody like I don't know for fighting skill. It's like yes, everyone has will fall into like some bell curve on whether or not they can fight or not. And then you can take just cut it in half, take like the upper 50th percentile, and then boom, you have another chunk of people. And then you do another bell curve. Okay, take the next percent, like 50 and plus percentile. All right, boom, you have another bell curve, and the population of people will get smaller and smaller, but there will always be the bell curve. People will always fall into like the bell curve in some way, shape, or form. And I don't know, maybe it's like another way of like moving. What's it called? Moving the goalpost or gatekeeping or something. Or, but like if he's talking about like people trying to win like a division in the UFC, there's so many variables. I think there are. I mean, even with like aim training, because like I didn't know jack shit about aim training. Um, I was just like it. Like initially, I was just um, like what am I doing? I'm just clicking dots and trying to, trying to be good at like the whole mouse and keyboard thing or whatever, and just forego any, um, I don't know, like forego any enjoyment that I had with like FPSs more or less. Um, because like the longer for me, like the more and more I played like FPS games, like the more and more I realized I was like average. So I was like, okay, there's got to be a better way to like do this, but then besides like just grind the game. So I found Kovacs or whatever. So I started doing that, and then okay, I did. I got I went through the whole shebang. I went like what did I start on? Voltaic season 2 or 3 or whatever. I think I started in season 3. Whatever the lowest rank was. It's like silver complete, gold complete. What was after that? Platinum complete, diamond, jade complete, and then master or whatever. And then time went on, and then all of a sudden, season 4 comes out. Oh man, season 4. It's more stuff of the stuff I like, and I actually feel some sort of like um I don't know, what do you call it? Like there's like a drive, there's like a want, there's some for as stupid as it sounds, like there is I actually find like for fulfillment from clicking the dots and getting a good score. All right, because it's like the gym for me, it's just another aspect of my life that I can control. Um a lot of the times in life you can't really control a lot of things, but I think it's good to have at least like I don't know, at least like one thing that you can have like some sort of control over. And for me, it's like the gym, it's the aim training. Um, so yeah, I mean, I like them, and I'm not gonna sit here and grandstand and say, oh, there's like days where I don't like it or whatever. But like, yes, it can get frustrating sometimes, but the whole thing with like the bell curve of like where you fall into the category of like what percentile is like what is it? I would say that like the bell curve is a snapshot of time in any given instance, which doesn't really paint the whole picture of like someone that's trying to develop a skill. It's just a snapshot in time. So what I'm just ranting. Let me see. Let me see.
Champion. I can get you to the UFC. If you were born here, I can get you to the UFC.
Oh,
Now, if you were born here,
oh,
I'll make you world champion. You could.
oh! Dang, big words. He's saying even on the lowest skill side, he can bring you to make you world champ. Dang. So essentially, this is like the argument he's making. Well, I don't know. He hasn't really said it yet, but there is a thing in sport and competition where how much of it was natural talent versus how much of it was work and deliberate effort. These things are always in contention, and people are always going to talk about it. What is something that you can control? You can control the work and the effort. What is something that you cannot control? Your genes, your DNA. You can't control that. Well, you kind of can now with like the whole CRISPR thing, but that's that's a whole nother thing. Um, but yeah, so we want to focus on things that we can control. How much work and effort will it take for you to get to the point where you want to go?
Be a world champion. You guys get what I'm saying? Now, if you were born here, here, I can't get you to UFC. I can get you to like a good professional career.
Oh, oh wait. Oh, is he talking the reverse? So is he just looking at it from his side? So this is the high skill side. The high skill side is right here, and the low skill side is right here. Okay, so he's saying he could get you, if you were born with like 0 skill, he can get you to like a good professional like career. Okay.
If you were born here, I can get you to UFC. Why? You're competing with other guys. If you put the time and energy and you have the more skills and you have the proper teaching from a long period of time, you're going to get here. You're going to get here. But
ooh, I agree with that. Like with whatever skill you're doing, and even within aim training, as long as you have like good coaches and you can put in the time and effort, you can be like an awesome like aimer or whatever. Because I don't know, I've recently seen like some tweets of like some guys are saying that, oh, it's all genetics. It's not as much work as you think. It's mostly genetics. And I don't know. That just seems to be like a popular thing to say that the amount of work you put in is insignificant compared to the genetics that you were just born with when you're trying to like achieve a thing or whatever.
But you won't beat those guys who were born with it. They were born with the correct reach, cardio, VO2 max. They were born with more robust ability to withstand strike. They were born with a gift from God, and also they worked hard, and also they had great training.
Okay, so one argument I hear against this is you have the complete like top 99 percentile guy and the 1 percentile guy. If you try to take this like lower 1 percentile guy and you bring him up to like something respectable, like I don't know, maybe like a 90% in the 90 percentile, but this other guy that maybe started in like the 90 percentile and like you're trying to like both guys are trying to get like the number 1 spot or whatever. One argument I hear is the guy that was born with like natural talent will not have the same amount of drive and determination to break through plateaus when the time comes compared to the lower tier like 1 percentile guy that is like born shitty. Everything's a plateau all the time, and he has to overcome like mental, physical, like whatever all the time, and he just knows how to get where he needs to go, more or less. That's one argument I hear. I mean, I don't know how true it is, but it's just like another interesting thing to think about.
Now look, if John Jones wasn't trained well and he didn't take training up when he was young, he would still go very far, but he wouldn't be a world champion. The fact that he's born the way he is, and he's trained by the best trainers, and he's been training his entire life, he has everything to be number 1. Now, there are guys who are born with everything, and somebody outsmarts the whole system. I don't want to tell you it's impossible. It's just highly unlikely. We've had examples throughout history, but it's extremely, extremely rare. Mike Tyson was born with the talent. And then he found a great trainer, and this trainer accentuated his talents, and they worked together to reach legendary status. But I'll tell you something. His trainer wasn't stupid. His trainer realized that this young kid has a talent. Okay, he saw punching. You know how they discovered Mike Tyson? Mike Tyson got into a street fight at a very young age. He was like 15 years old. He punched the guy's lights out. The people were like, whoa, this guy's what a crazy punch. Bring him to a buck.
Bro, I would not want to get hit by Mike Tyson at all, especially in a street fight when a punch can potentially kill someone. with Mike Tyson's like looping punches or whatever. Like, god dang.
Boxing gym. One of the greatest lifters of all time. You know how they discovered him? He was mechanic. He was an Iranian mechanic. And they were going to move an engine from one place to another. And he's like, I'm not going to wait for the crane. They're going to get the crane. It was taking too long. He picked it up. And people were like, what? How did you move the engine? I just picked it up. What?
Oh my god.
Go to the Olympic Center, man. See what they tell you. He goes to the
Dang.
Olympic Center like, wow, this guy's a legend, man. He's born for lifting.
Okay. So I don't think this is a good example because I don't know. He's a mechanic of something. So mechanics just have to be really, you have to be really strong to be a mechanic because you're just working with heavy shit all the time. All right. So to say that like, and then you want to apply it to like a specific thing like Olympic weightlifting, where it's like he's already been working on strength type things like all this time for him to like try to get specific and do like a clean jerk and a snatch or whatever. It just takes a little bit more time and effort. I don't know if that's a good example.
What talents do you have? That's why one of my favorite books is, I'm forgetting the name now. Today is not my day, guys. I just trained, didn't eat much, and now I'm low on sugar. Anyways, it's about self-examination. Look at yourself in the mirror, guys. Think about it. Here's a great example. Here's a great way to go about it. When you were young, what people compliment you about?
Huh? Oh, well, shit, dude. Like, bro, when I was young, I was anemic. I just had like holes in my stomach and I was bleeding blood like throughout my like stomach lining. So when I was young, I was just not athletic at all. Like, and that's the truth. It wasn't until after I got like some surgery or whatever to correct it and everything, and I had like a blood transfusion, and like I did all the things that they told me to do to like, okay, just take this, it's gonna heal your stomach or whatever, and they gave me the blood transfusion on top of it. Then like the day after I got like my blood transfusion, I just felt like $1,000,000. It was crazy. I could not believe that this was how you're supposed to feel after like this is what you're supposed to feel like what normal people feel like. Because I didn't know that feeling because I've just been, I was anemic. I had low iron or whatever. Yeah, like the whole thing with the bell curve or whatever, that's just a snapshot of of skill and effort over like the course over like a population of people, like on an X and a Y axis or whatever. So you could actually, and I would be kind of interested to see if there's like any information on this, like add a third axis, like a Z axis, and make it over time. Do you think like if you add more time, because like you have on the bottom you have what skill, and on the top you have like what population or whatever. So you got population and skill, and then just add a third axis, time. So you have this like curtain effect. And then I would want to see how much, over what course of time would that, divider line at the 50% mark, would it skew more or less into the like elite side, if you know what I'm talking about? Because I would want to think that the more time and effort you put into something, the more you're gonna get like a payout. But then again, there's the whole sunken cost fallacy. Like, oh, I've already invested what do I got? Like 1,300 hours into Kovacs and still no GM complete or whatever. So I don't know.
What did people compliment? Like, you had a talent for something. They saw it in you when you were young. What is it? Look, not everybody's going to be a world champion in UFC. Not everybody's going to be.
And this whole what did people compliment you when you were young? I don't feel this is a good example because a lot of, like I said before, a lot of people don't have like like are not just, or they're just born in shitty situations. So for you to try to discover something great about yourself in a shitty situation is just not ideal. And for a lot of people, they just stay that way. And that sucks.
A mathematical genius. Not everybody's going to be the greatest engineer of all time, but you can be great at something. What is that something? Where did you land on the Galton board? Okay, because don't forget, there's a Galton board for every talent.
Yes.
What type of genius are you? Discover it, find it, put your heart and soul into it, and do everything else on the side. Guys, I have many hobbies. I'm never going to be the world's greatest chess player, even though I do play chess. I like chess. Now, do I?
Yeah, I think that's a good little side note to just have like a bunch of hobbies, just to still have that mind that you can adapt. You know, once you get really good at one thing, then you can kind of apply the concepts of learning that one thing to other things. You're not going to be an expert in those things, but you can apply that same knowledge. You know, like, okay, I learned this thing. Okay, now what's the next concept? Okay, now what's the next concept? And so on and so on. So I do think that is a good little point.
Am I good at chess? No, I suck. If you put me in Gasparov's going to be like, who is this loser? Who is this loser I'm playing with? I suck at chess, but I like chess. I like to cook. I'm a pit master. I gotta say, I don't suck at barbecuing, but let's say regular cuisine in the kitchen. I'm not bad, but I'm no Chef Ramsay. That's not where my talent lies.
And also, I don't know who that other chess guy is, but I do know who Gordon Ramsay is. I would say Gordon Ramsay is like a top, 99 percentile, like chef. You're like comparing like yourself to like a top 1%er type person. It's like, if you know, like, it's like, why are you comparing yourself to like the number one person in that, I don't know, hobby or whatever? Now, if you're trying to get good at a hobby or whatever, let's say for me, like, I would like to get a little bit better at aim training. I look at all the people who are ahead of me at aim training. All right. And so like, there's that whole comparison is the thief of joy. I think that's the saying. In some cases, it's all right to compare yourself to like another person, but just as like a, in a snapshot kind of way. But I would say 99% of the time, you can't be like comparing yourself to other people and what they have achieved, because you have no idea what they had to go through to get to that level. Like what you were saying before, are they just born with it, or did they put in a large amount of time into it?
Even though I do like these other fields, where's my talent? Well, I'm analytical, so I'm going to be analytical. I'm going to become a coach. I'm going to push my limits of my analytical ability to the maximum. That's what I want you to do. Where did you land where you have a special talent? And I want you to pursue it to the end. Pull the plug, pull the pin. There's no turning back. We will never look back. We will never change course. We're going to take this course all the way to the end. With that attitude, my friend, it's unlikely you ever fail. Guys,
that ideally that is great advice, but I would say for a lot of people, I don't know, it's hard to like pursue like an actual hobby or something that you like enjoy or whatever. Because a lot of the time, I mean, like I said before, I think a lot of people are just bogged down by their job, their circumstance. They're not making a lot of money. Their mental space isn't healthy or whatever. So, I mean, granted, like another piece of me wants to say like, pick yourself up, and yes, you can do better. And like in an ideal world, that would be okay, but I don't know. It's just hard.
So with that, I want to touch on, is George going to train Elon Musk? Before I forget, I almost forgot. Is George St. Pierre going to train Elon Musk?
Bro, is that an actual thing? No amount of training that Elon Musk is going to, obtain in the short period of time is going to overcome like Zuckerberg's, like, how long has he been doing like BJJ? like a while now, right? Like a year or two or three. I don't know. Like, and it depends on like, are they actually doing that match or whatever? Because if it's just like an MMA fight with like, yes, there's striking, yes, there's takedowns and like grappling and all that shit, like a UFC match, then yeah, it's gonna be. My money's gonna be on Zuck. And even if it was just like only a BJJ match, it would still be just Zuck. Like that's just not happening. There's no shot Elon wins.
I do think so. Okay, they're rooming to. Elon Musk is supposed to fight Mark Zuckerberg. You all heard about it. If that fight happens, I think it's very likely Elon Musk trains with us. Why? Rogan recommended him that he
Oh,
trains with me and George. George and him now are talking.
oh,
It's a fact. It's not a rumor. It's a fact. They're in
oh, dang.
communication. So if Elon Musk, and I know Joe Rogan on there, people were sending me that he said, hey, if you ever fight Putin, because there was a time that Elon Musk wanted to fight Putin. He said, look, if you ever fight Putin, I'll get you the best trainer. I'll get you Faraz Zabi.
Oh my
He recommended
god.
me, which I love, by the way. Thank you very much, Joe. I would love to train Elon Musk as well. I would definitely make time for him.
I would watch that
But
fight.
St. Pierre and Elon Musk are discussing the possibility of working together for a fight that I may or may not happen. I don't know how serious these guys are, but I've
Bro, this needs to happen. Has this ever happened in like history? Like just two like billionaires just go at it? And you know, like how much of it do you think is actually going to be like real versus like it's just going to be scripted and they're going to be like, "Okay, I'll get you in some locks and I'll let it go and then you'll get me in some locks and you'll let it go and whatnot." Like there's no possible way that these guys would go at it and it not be scripted. There's no way. It would 100% be scripted.
heard that they're quite serious. From my understanding, they're quite serious. So it's not crazy. It's not out of the realm of possibility that, you know, Elon Musk's one day gets in the ring or the octagon or the cage, I should say, and competes against Zuckerberg. Guys, wouldn't that be an amazing post-fight analysis?
Oh yeah.
Guys, I want to wish you well, friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. I always have a blast doing this. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Please make sure to like, share, and comment. It helps the channel. If you choose to support this channel, please do. Check out jujiclub.com. I released Kari Basami, made simple, flying scissor, one of the hardest techniques in all of jiu-jitsu. But I promise you, I discovered a 3-step progression that will teach you. Nobody can teach you this simply.
Oh.
It's the simplest way to learn Kani Basami, and you will become a Kani Basami master. There's only a small percentage of jiu-jitsu masters that do Kani Basami because most people don't know how to teach it. Most people don't know how to do it. Yet it's one of the most feared maneuvers made famous by the Death Squad, the Denahar Death Squad, my trainer. Over the years of teaching it, I've simplified it. I've taught it to thousands of people, countless people, and now I've found a way to teach it in a way that's so simple. Even black belts, when I teach it to black belts, they would have trouble doing it. It's not an easy move to learn. But I believe I've discovered a 3 progressions that make it so simple.
Oh
I
dang.
got white belts doing it. And once you learn this maneuver, it's terrifying. People will fear your guard. Guys, thank you for tuning in. See you all in the next episode. Thank you.
Nice. Yeah, I mean I did not know this was going to be like a really fight focused like video. I just saw like the thumbnail of like the bell curve or whatever, and I was just interested in what he had to say about it, and I thought it was pretty good. This is always gonna be like a thing. This is just this like bell curve. This is always present in life. So, yeah. But no, I thought it was a good video. I'll sub. I like it. Hard work. Okay, like right here. Hard work beats talent when talent refuses to work hard. One of my favorite quotes in the realm of combat sports. Yeah. I mean, when talent refuses to work hard. And that's always, like I said before, that's always going to be like an argument. Like, it's going to be, it really boils down to like the mental battle of, it's a mental battle of attrition and who can maintain the highest intensity for the longest period of time in anything or whatever. You know, like I always like to use aim training or whatever because, you know, fighting is such like a pure like high risk, high uh, uh, reward type sport or whatever. I mean, yes, there's rules to it. You know, you can't kick like do strikes to like was it the face or the eyeballs? You can't do like certain strikes. You can't no strikes to the groin and whatnot to try to keep things like kind of fair or whatever. But I think it's one of the purest forms of like expression. Um, I it's cool. You know, like for me, like for video games and aim training, you know, you have to be in that flow state for whatever scenario for a minute. You just have to be on. Um, and it's just the purest expression of skill where it's just you and your arm and your reaction time, and that's it. Um, but yeah, I thought it was good. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just ranting now. But yeah, good video. And I'll catch you guys later. See you on the next one. Peace.